Hello, welcome back. Hey, so on this episode, there's a lot of things I want to cover, but not only that, the energetics are kind of wild right now. They feel as I'm recording this, they feel very expansive. And it feels like there has been an energetic portal that is opening. It could be the 4-4 portal. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. But things are like connecting, like the puzzle pieces are falling into place. So I journal every morning. And when I journal, I receive downloads. So if you're wondering why you even watch my videos or why you came across the videos that I create, it's because I am so passionate about inspiring women to step into their high value woman era. Now, when I think of that, when I say that, I think of the vision that pops in my head is a corporate woman dressed in a suit with heels going on a jet. And that is not at all what I'm talking about. And so the reason why I'm saying that to you is because that's where my guides are showing me is what you envision as a high value woman. And as you see, looking at me, I'm very casual. There is nothing corporate about me. I've never been in the corporate world, but I have a different vision of how we live a life that's fully in tuned to who we are and what we're passionate about and opening up the creative pathways to to stay connected to our spirit wanting to feel expansive because your spirit is your navigator in the world. Now, you came here with your natal chart, which is your blueprint, and that blueprint guides you to the different areas in your natal chart and the planets that are there and what zodiac is ruling it. But what it's doing is it's helping you on your self-discovery journey. And you've heard me say this if you've seen any of my other videos that I use astrology as a self-development tool. I also work with goddess energy. And that is because when I walked away from my interior design business, or I shouldn't say that, uh, it just closed, right? My guide said it was time, and my business closed, and it was right around COVID as well. Um, but I went on a new journey, and this has been my self-discovery path. And so everything that I share with you is what I've experienced. And I also flip back into the past versions of myself, the lessons that I've learned in the process. And, like in my one video, I was talking about how um, I was constantly seeking external validation. I didn't know my worth. And then when I found that I had Chiron in the second house of self-worth, it all made sense. Everything that you experience is to expand you, to help you grow so that you can step into your worth and live your life that is authentically who you are. And because of the programming of the societal um, systems, we've given our power away to this belief that we have to show up in the world and look like this image of what it means to be successful, to be a high value woman. Okay. If you watched my last video, I talk about the beauty industry and how the beauty industry historically has been ran by men. And so men have given this perception of what it means to be a woman. And we've been trying to live up to this because it's what's been marketed to us. So I'm all about taking your power back, trusting in your creativity, your uniqueness. You wear your hair the way you want to, you dress how you want to dress, you create what you want to create. You believe in what you believe in. You trust in your authentic code, which is all of those aspects that are you, that are in your natal chart, happen to be in your natal chart, which that's why I know that this isn't coincidental, and with the goddess energy, because the goddess energy is in your natal chart. If you don't know this, you have asteroids, and these asteroids represent the archetype of goddess energies. Um, and so like I work with Hecate. She happens to be placed in my eighth house, which is the house of transformation, where I do have a lot of planets in that house. And she also is helping me through my transformation. Okay. If I didn't know any of this and I didn't know why she appeared, because Hecate is the triple goddess and she represents the moon's energy. And when I first moved away from my interior design business, the first thing I started working with was the moon phases. And then I was being led to astrology. And first I was led to tarot, because tarot is astrology is incorporated into tarot. And then astrology, because I kept saying like, oh, it's too difficult, it's too difficult. And then once I opened a book about astrology, it just came to me. It was like it came off flowing through, like it came back to me as a memory that I already knew. And I'm not saying that I'm an expert astrologer, but whatever I was doing in a past life, what I was teaching about astrology and self-discovery and psychology, it all came flowing back through the subconscious mind. I was also guided to Carl Jung's work. And so when you open yourself up to trusting your spirit, is what I'm saying. When you open yourself up to trusting your spirit and your creative flow, synchronistic things will happen to give you little breadcrumbs as little guiding points that you're on path. Now, I'm a firm believer that you have to do the shadow work, you have to do the inner work in to become more self-aware to the programming that is on repeat. Because if you're not aware, you're going to let doubt creep in, you're going to procrastinate, you're going to feel unworthy, you're going to overgive, you're going to feel overwhelmed. And so you're never going to get to where you're supposed to be, to trust that intuitive voice that is taking you right exactly where you should be in order to experience this expansive energy. And it's ever changing. So it's not about picking one thing, it is just letting your spirit guide you through it. And so in my journaling process, I started seeing the vision of like life being assimilation. And when I say assimilation, it's like we're looking, like our eyes are the lens of the camera that is looking at a virtual world. Okay. And it is through our subconscious beliefs that we create this visual reality, because we are tuning into frequencies that keep attracting more of the same, because we have this recording on repeat going back to your subconscious beliefs and why you need to do the shadow work. Um, I'm going to be giving you some steps here, so you might want to get a pen and paper. But I think what I'll do is I'll place a card in up here that will outline some of the things. So if you want to screenshot it, it can help you um, connect more at what I'm talking about. So the goddess energy is a tool. Like she really wants us to step into the divine feminine era, because um, we're moving into this energy of getting back in flow, creating more balance in the world. But we have to take off and discard all of these limiting beliefs that we have. And so that's why I was talking about in my last video, I was talking about how we create this false reality because we're following a system that wasn't for us. I mean, even when you think of religion and how the feminine was really taken out of religion, and we have to come back in and trust that the divine lives within and that we are truly being guided to our essence, to our sense of creativity, to our flow. Because what is creativity? It is spirit, okay? It's God, it's the universe, whatever you prescribe to, but it is the form of you having this vision and bringing it into the physical realm, like I was talking about, the simulation that we create. I'm going to be looking at, what I wrote in my journal and notes, so that way you can put the pieces together and I can stay on track because I'm a talker, I won't deny. And if you don't like these kind of podcasts, if or video, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you don't enjoy longer versions that really kind of get you thinking, your creative thinking, and start really diving into and um, wanting to discover more about yourself, then you probably won't enjoy this video or this podcast. So, when I talk about who we are and where Goddess Ishtar wanted me to remember, she wanted me to remember that we're actual stars. And so there was a lot of synchronicity around it. She also wanted me to discover that we are literally made of stardust, which, yes, we are. You can do the research if you want, but we literally are. And we are avatars. So our spirit seeks expansion through our physical body. And as an avatar, you are building the lens in which you are viewing this movie. Okay. That is the assimilation of this movie screen that is coming in, but it is your reality that you are participating in, which, the archetypes create. So you're encoded with an archetype. But because your astrological chart is so vast that you have all 12 zodiac signs and you have planets in different houses, there are different aspects of who you are that create your unique archetype. Okay. Now, Carl Jung's work, he discovered that archetypes are not something that you create externally, that they're innate. And so it got me to thinking about like the the different aspects of us to taking care of our physical avatar in order to be a main character in our reality, to build this dream life that we want. And we all know that health is number one, right? And I can say this because I'm a 60-year-old woman and I know how important health is. And I've had, watched my mother age. And so I understand it's like taking care of your physical avatar helps your spirit like a vehicle, it's a vehicle for you to experience life. And when you let your subconscious beliefs rule your reality, it causes this dissonance in your body, this dis-ease in your body, this disconnect. Where if you can fine tune and integrate those beliefs and realize they're not yours and they've been projected onto you. I mean, so many women are detached from their physical beauty, their innate beauty, because of what we've been fed, right? Through the fashion industry, through the marketing media. Because remember, at the end of the day, we live in capitalism and we're being sold to all of the time. I even came across a video, a TikTok video, where I think it was the 1800s. Small breasts were in fashion. And so women used to bind their breast so that it appeared that they had small breasts so men would be attracted to them. Okay, so when did it turn out that being overly in indulged and wanting to get plastic surgery to have these huge breasts? Well, it changed because historically the men changed their appetite for the female anatomy, and we just went along with it. So this is really about empowerment so that you can step back in to who you are, okay? At your core, at your authenticity. It's like every season, you have different seasons in life and enjoy all seasons. I happen to be in my Crone era, and it's the most fascinating and magical time for me. I don't look at it like life is over. I look at it like life isn't over yet because there's so much more for me to explore. I can take my wisdom that I learned in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and I can apply it into this time, this era in my life. And that's why I share this content with you. So going back to health, it's because you're the creator of your reality. So you have to be healthy because if you're chasing wealth or you're chasing money or you're chasing success or you're chasing love and you don't have your health, health is number one, right? So it will create, if you have bad health, it creates a different reality. And when I did the etymology of the word health, what I got was it means wholeness. Okay. Health means wholeness. It means being whole. So when I talk about shadow work, the shadow work are the subconscious beliefs that you've detached yourself from because whether you're embarrassed, you have shame, you have guilt, you have trauma, you're not operating as your whole self, your healthy version. You're letting this belief, this recording that keeps going on in your head that's telling you that you're not enough. And because you feel like you're not enough, you aren't living the expansive life that you want. So remember, health means wholeness. And wholeness is not only your physical health, it's your mental health, it's your emotional health, it's your spiritual health. Hell, it's even your financial health, okay? It is how you op everything is connected. Even when you create a business, you are an extension of that business. So anything that you are dealing with internally is going to come out in your business because it is how you attract everything into your life. I'm a firm believer in that. I experience that. I am an entrepreneur. I've created multiple businesses and they all didn't work out. And that's okay. I just let my spirit, it was something I wanted to experience and it fizzled out. And I'm on a new trajectory in my life. And this one's fascinating and it's fun and it's creative and it's explorative and it brings me joy. So when you think of health being of wholeness, then what does wealth mean? Okay. So wealth, we think that wealth is money. Okay. And going back to health, without health, with money, health, without health, money means nothing. So money is only transactional. It's just a tool. It has nothing to do with your value. So when I looked at what it means in the etymology, wealth means well-being. Okay. So you've got health that means to be whole and being whole. And then you've got wealth that means well-being. So it goes hand in hand. So you are the wealthiest person because you have value, because your creativity and the money is only in exchange of that vision that you hold for yourself, that you came here to experience. And those who want to learn more, who want to skip some steps, will want to engage in what you have to share in order for them to kind of, have a quantum leap. They don't have to go through all of it because you already went through it for them. Um, so remember, money is neutral. Money is a tool that is part of societal structure. And it's been turned into a system of power. So that's where the disconnect happens because we believe that we don't have value or we don't have power because we don't have money. But everything is energy. So energetically, if you believe that you have value and you have that creative power, then the money is just an exchange of whatever creation you want to bring into the world. It's a whole different ball game of believing where your value lies. And I needed to learn that. And I went through the process. I did the shadow work, and that's why I show up here. So, health and wealth, going back to my notes, health and wealth are rooted in wholeness and well being, remembering your true nature as a creator. And you realize that abundance isn't something external, going back to money just being a tool. You are prosperity, you are wealth, you are value. And true wealth is being in alignment with your infinite nature, not a number in your bank account. So, what is infinite nature? It's when you fully embody the truth that you are a divine creator. See, remember, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, you got to create it. You got to first believe that you are the creator to create it, to bring it forth, to experience your wealth manifested in physicality because it's being exchanged with something neutral like money. Okay, so in internal consciousness, temporarily experiencing a human form, still talking about what infinite nature is, a state of remembering who you are beyond limitations, fear, and extended external conditioning, going back to societal norms and what's been projected onto us. When you're in alignment, you no longer seek fulfillment outside of yourself. You realize you are the source of everything you desire. So if you start remembering that you're the attractor and it is through your expression, your authentic expression, that you are attracting and creating this reality, you feel in alignment, you feel joy, you feel a sense of purpose. And you start keeping those promises to yourself. You're not operating from the wounded child anymore. You're operating from a place of acceptance of yourself. Every little quirk, every little nuance that might seem weird to others, every belief, every value, everything that has formed you into your core essence, not something that was projected onto you externally. And you will know the difference because you feel the discomfort in your body. So if you're following a life path that somebody has told you that you need to follow and you don't resonate with it, it's because it's not your life path, okay? You are more than what somebody else is telling you what your value is. So I'm going to give you some signs on what it means to be in alignment. So if you want to get a pen and paper, you can, but I will put them, I will list them. And like I said, so you can screenshot it. So here are the signs of being in alignment. One is that you have a deep inner peace and you trust. You release the need to control because you trust the flow of life. Okay. Everything has divine timing. When you surrender, that is when you are in flow. When you're trying to push and make it happen the way or the time it needs to happen, you create the resistance. You're the one that's always in charge. So fear, doubt, and scarcity no longer dictate your decisions. So even when I was sharing my experience and really trying to force something, and that doubt comes in because you're overthinking and you want it to happen when you want it to happen. And you operate from a state of knowing rather than hoping and wishing, right? Because the inner knowing is so powerful energetically. When you know, your gnosis, your gut tells you you're on course and you're willing to be patient and let it unfold as it should, then that is the beauty of staying in flow. Number two, effortless manifestation, right? Being in flow. Your desires manifest with ease because you are in harmony with the energy of creation. So when you believe that that you're a divine, you're an infinite divine being, and your infinite divine nature is to create, and you receive this download and you trust it, and you have this inner knowing that it was a gift given to you, then you let go of the scarcity, fear, and doubt. And I will tell you that even in your natal chart, it shows you, it connects you so well to what your purpose and mission in life is. And then you get the guidance of the goddess energy that helps you to see where you need to work on these things. Like going back to Hecate being in my eighth house. Well, my eighth house is ruled by Virgo. And so it is any beliefs that I have around perfectionism, the overthinking, the doubt, the comparison of wanting to show up like how I think society tells me I need to show up. And your eighth house is your opposition of your second house, which is where I have Chiron in self-worth. So you can see where I have this tug of war happening with this overthinking, over analyzing, believing that I need to show up. So I needed to transform that energy. And with having Hecate in the house of transformation, death, and rebirth, she's really been with me all of this time to get to where I am right now. And there is no end game. I'm still evolving, and there's going to be more. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Um, so you don't chase opportunities. They naturally come to you. Now, this is not saying that you don't put yourself out there and you don't do what's needed, right? It's just saying that when you're in alignment with this expansive feeling of your spirit and you create from that place, then you know you have this inner knowing. And because you have this inner knowing and you understand that everything is happening in divine timing, then you're open to everything coming in. And this brings me to you feel supported by synchronicities and divine timing. So it's like the breadcrumbs come, they show up, like I've shared, Ishtar and even Carl Jung and people that, will come in your way and come on your path. Videos you come across, conversations you hear, everything is just a little bit of that breadcrumb that's letting you know, hey, you're on path. It might not look like it because you're not receiving the end goal, like if it's money, right? And you don't see the money coming in and you still believe that your value and your worth is wrapped up in money, you create the resistance to it. When the beauty is it's just being yourself. It's just being who you are and trusting in this gift in your infinite nature. And so, number three is living from the present moment. You are not trapped in the past or anxiously projecting into the future. So, again, that is when you understand divine timing and you understand that things are going to unfold as they should. And maybe there's something that you need to learn, or there's somebody you need to meet, or some skill that you need. Because it's like it's not a straight shot. It's kind of like this. It's just a wiggly path, and it takes you into cyclical evolutions in the game for up leveling your life. But it's not a straight and narrow path. It's like I went from being an interior designer to then feeling this huge self-awareness, awakening, whatever you want to call it, come forth and realizing that it was time to expand. And then I thought, oh, I was going to have a straight shot to what it was going to be like. And no, I thought I was making the decision. And so then it went from there to discovering the moon's energy and then tarot, and then trying the coaching one to one. And it's like, nope, that's not it for you. And then doing the group coaching, nope, that's not it for you. And then resisting astrology when that's where I was being guided all along, and now stepping into it and understanding that this divine feminine goddess energy is part of my work with astrology, and it is me showing up to an audience and not working one on one anymore because I did that in my other life where I was an interior designer, and I thought that I needed to have more one-on-one training when in reality I've been training for it for the last 2 decades. Because when you work with a client, and I worked with women, I was working with their energies all along, understanding their subconscious beliefs, what was holding them back, because your home is your sacred space. And so for you to allow somebody in, you trust them. So I've been doing this work. It was just in a different area in my life, which was my interior design business. And your awareness is in the now, right? It's in the now. It's listening to this, paying attention to the synchronicities where all creation happens. So it's what you do today that changes your past and creates your future. If you're constantly thinking about the past, you won't move into the now. And if you're constantly thinking about the future, you won't do anything in the now because you're waiting for certainty. Okay. And love, joy, and gratitude become your natural state. Because if you're just listening to your spirit and you're like, so in tuned and aligned, and you just love life, and you're welcoming it in, and you're not coming from this old dogma that's been projected onto you. You fully show up in your health and wealth, right? What is health? Wholeness, and wealth is your well-being, right? And so it's like everything connects, and the money just comes afterwards. So stop chasing the money. Number four, oneness with everything, right? That's what I was just saying. You no longer see yourself as separate from the universe, nature, or others. You understand everything is connected. Your business, your relationships, your desires, what you're creating, the people in your life, the words you speak, everything is connected to the overall consciousness, and you're just remembering it. It is what you came into with this blueprint. You experience a sense of inner connectedness and unity consciousness. So when you believe that you're part of the main brain, right? When you think of you're playing a game and it is the person who's doing the controlling is part of the whole game, and then it's just your actions, your role is the avatar in the game. Your actions are guided by love and harmony rather than fear and ego. So it's like when you're in love and harmony, it's not being passive in your life, but you're understanding you're just connected to the ebb and the flow. And because you're part of the ebb and the flow, there is going to be that time where things feel like it's receding, where you go internally, and there are times that you take action. Number five, flowing with your intuition and your inner guidance. Instead of overthinking, you trust your inner knowing. Decisions feel natural and aligned without struggle. So that is where when you have that inner knowing and you trust, you fully trust that you were given this gift of whatever this creativity is, this spirit, this whatever you want to experience. You trust in it and you trust that it's going to happen. And you just take the leap of faith. You take the breadcrumbs, the synchronicities, and you follow it through. It's like a treasure hunt. Okay. So let's see, where are we? You receive insight and inspiration effortlessly, right? Effortlessly. You understand everything comes to you. You attract everything effortlessly. Number 6, operating beyond societal limitations, right? So that's that quick change of perspective where you're like, holy shit, I've been comparing myself to false narratives, this beauty standard, what it means to be wealthy, what it means to be successful, what it means to experience things in this reality. And you recognize that external systems, money, time, authority, are constructs, not absolute truths. Yes, I can say yes to that. You break free from programmed fears and you step into your creative power. That's where your power is in your creativity. And people get hung up with creativity because they think it has to be artistic. It is your spirit wanting to move and expand in the world. If it's painting art, it's painting art, but you let your spirit guide you through that creative expression. Your reality bends to match your frequency rather than the other way around. So, like I said, you create resistance when you're trying to force and you're trying to make things happen instead of you bending reality to this vision that you have. Okay, so we have those 6 steps. Now we're going to talk about how to align with your infinite nature. So, one is you meditate, you go within, you connect with your divine self beyond the mind. You detach from illusion, question societal beliefs that reinforce limitations, question everything. I feel like people don't use their critical thinking anymore. Raise your frequency. Choose joy, love, and gratitude daily. Yes, you're going to have contrast. We are not here to just be doing cartwheels and la 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 la. We're going to have contrast, but those contrast moments are learning experiences. So don't push them away. They're just helping you to achieve more of what you want. Embody trust and surrender. Let go of resistance and flow with the universe. Number 5, live authentically. Follow your soul's truth, not external expectations. Now, I want you to just pause here. I want to let you know at the end, stay to the end of this video because I am going to do a quick tutorial on how you can um, learn where your goddess energy asteroids are, how you can find that in your chart. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you a quick tutorial. So stay till the end of this video so you can get that free tutorial, okay? So live authentically and follow your soul's truth, not external expectations. That's number 5. And number 6 is create from wholeness, manifest from a state of knowing, not lack. When you are aligned with your infinite nature, you don't just exist. You create, expand, and flow as the universe itself. You stay out of survival mode and into pure creation, limitless potential, and divine harmony. And that's what we all want to feel. See, we don't want resistance because when we come from resistance, it's like we're trying to fit into some consumer idea of what it means to be your infinite nature, and it doesn't work anymore. So when you align with your goddess energy, you do the subconscious reprogramming. You integrate any shame that you have, any guilt that you have. You step into following the nudges of your spirit without resistance. You know that it's creative flow. You know that you were given this seed of inspiration. It could be inspired to travel, to do something that connects you to the a version of you that you are trying to develop through your self-discovery. And speaking of self-discovery, I do have a mini masterclass that I created. It's called Discover Your Avatar and Stepping into Your High Value Woman Era. And I cover the big threes and your Venus placement and show you how you can um, take those three and know when you're in alignment, when you're out of alignment, and how you can follow the red flags and to step into your truest essence of who you are and stop listening to the reprogramming of societal norms. And that's all I got for you today, but don't forget, I am going to put in at the end, I'm going to give you that tutorial on how to find your goddess asteroids, the goddess energy in your natal chart. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, first of all, what I'd like you to do is in the comment section, share where you have Hecate in your chart, what house, and maybe I'll just elaborate on that for you. And then if you want to share this with a friend, then I would love for you to do that. And I will see you next time. Okay, as I promised that I was going to take you through a step-by-step tutorial on how to find the goddess energy in your chart according to the asteroids. This is the tutorial. So I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through the process right now. All right. So I'm looking at my screen, but I'm going to walk you through this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Astro Seek. Okay, AstroSeek. Okay, so you're going to come to this page here and you're going to click on your birth chart. Okay, so it takes you to your birth chart, and here you're going to put in your date of birth, the month, and year, along with the time of birth and where you were born. And then I'm just going to put in a random, let's just leave the date as is. We'll say 2:02 a.m. And let's see where they live. They're from, let's just put Paris, France. Okay. This is a random. So, okay, then you're going to hit calculate chart. Now, this is important what you do as well. So underneath, okay, so you've got the chart here, right? And then you're going to scroll down and see where it says extended settings, house systems, and aspects. You're going to click on that. And I like to do whole sign charts because your whole sign chart um, makes the houses even. Okay, and then you're going to redraw that. So now you can see it has the first house, second house, and all the planets are within the house. So it's easier to read your chart that way. Now, here is where you find your goddess. So you're going to scroll down and see in this orange section here, it says asteroids. You're going to click on asteroids. Now it's going to take you over here, and here's all of the asteroids. So let's say you want to look at Aphrodite. Okay, so we're going to click on Aphrodite and then we're going to redraw the chart. And where does Aphrodite in this person's chart? This is a fictitious person. It shows that Aphrodite is in Scorpio in 0 degrees in the second house. And that is how you find your goddess energy. Now you can go through all of them. Um, Not to confuse you, but like this one only has a list of like I think there's Isis. So you can use Isis as far as like for Ishtar. Um, but I had to go on to Astro Dionist in order to find goddess Ishtar in my chart, according to that asteroid. And that's a little bit more complicated on how you do it there. So this is an easier, more straightforward way to creating it. And then, it's like you can go down and let's say you want to find out where Cleopatra's energy is in your chart. You hit redraw, and then it shows that Cleopatra is in Sagittarius in 13 degrees in the third house of this fictitious person that I created. Okay, so now you know how to find the goddess energy in your chart. Um, I'll be going into other videos where I'll talk more about the goddess energy. I'll talk about her placement in your chart, what it means, what the degree means, as well as how you can embody it, what she's trying to show you, what she wants you to work through. Um, and start having some more fun in self-discovery and really falling in love with who you are. And I'll see you next time.